War product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. War product, faced with hard luck. Faced with hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified, qualified West Side host, Steve Lucky Luciano. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
Is Chumahan Bone, American Indian, Southern Californian, elegant barbarian, here to do the show sober again.
Yeah, and we got Big Pick Mike and King Salmon handling visuals and audio, and motherfucking old Blue Eyes is off somewhere else doing something. Who knows what the fuck?
Eating cake, and before we...
unwrapping presents, eating cake.
Right, he went to
playing Bozo the Clown for his kid, probably.
Right, he's got floating them around balloons and squirting them with water.
Yeah.
Now listen, big shout out to Coit on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Coit.
Happy birthday, Coit. Whatever we might say about Papa does not apply to you, my friend. We're trying to struggle without old Blue Eyes here helping us.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was gone.
Where did you go?
Some shows. I was in Utah. I was in Utah. I was in Arizona. I was in Vegas. Business trip. Let me tell you, it ain't no motherfucking walking the motherfucking, gardens taking these trips at this age, running around, jumping in and out of airplanes.
Over how many days was this trip?
10 days.
10 days through basically the Southwest?
Nah. It was Utah, fucking, like I said, Utah, Arizona, and
Las Vegas. That is the Southwest.
Okay, all right. The Southwest. I went on a tour for the Southwest.
You did?
And, got a lot of good work done. Vegas, listeners, there's some trade shows we do in the apparel business, as you know. Project, which is part of Magic. We did that trade show with Cookies, the apparel brand, and it was went down extremely well. A lot of good things coming up for this coming year. What are you doing?
Nothing.
With that shit?
Nothing. I'm.
The fuck you doing, man?
I'm having big let talk with you.
Fuck that shit.
Why?
I'm talking.
Right. He's agreeing.
Fuck all that.
Come on, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking right now. So that went down. Keep Big Lep out of this shit. And now I'm back. Anyways, we're here.
Wait. Before, man, see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
You go on this trip for 10 days. There's a lot of people that don't ever go on a fucking trip for their work at all right? So, All right. You say it's a lot.
That's their problem.
I got it. But take us on the journey. Let some people live through your life. I mean, what did you do? Did you eat some fucking pies?
No. Well, I will take you through it then.
Yeah.
No fucking Lepke bullshit. I don't want to hear anybody's voice but my own. I went to Arizona. That's where they're hosting the Super Bowl. We have a fantastic store called Guest List. That's a retailer of ours. Shout out to everybody at Guest List in Arizona. Follow those guys. Some of the best Nike tennis shoes, fucking just Cookies product you can get. So I was up there.
Yeah.
We did a kind of like gifting type pop-up for Super Bowl. Limited edition shirts, handed out fucking pre-rolls, gift bags. It was dope.
Was there a lot of people there?
There's a lot of people there, and athletes, and Jeff Hamilton hung out with us.
Yeah.
He had a few of his bags over there and his jackets, and it was dope, man. It was dope. So I was there for a couple days. Sammy B met me.
Did he? How's he doing?
This is going to be the Lucky Catch-Up Show. That's going to be the title of this show right here.
All right.
It was good. It was great, bro. He showed up in his fucking 96 Impala.
Okay.
And picked me up at the hotel, drove out. We had some breakfast at some spot and talked about Pauly B. Talked about the Pauly B podcast again. And we had a great breakfast. And
was there a good Pauly B story that came up during that conversation?
They were their non-rated version did that we can't share, but we'll get back to that. We had some good shit. But I tell you, fucking guy fucking is reminds me so much of his dad. But we had a great breakfast.
Where'd you eat? Where'd you go? Pancakes?
Yeah. But it was at some like griddle place that I told him I got into the car. He goes, I go, where you want to have breakfast? I go, because I want pancakes. He goes, oh, all right. So we ended up some griddle place over there in Arizona, and it was good. And then he helped me to set up everything when we got out to the party. He just wanted to hang. So he helped me set up all the gift bags, all the shit. We kicked it. He got some free flour, and just, got him set up. I had a good time. Left. So after that was done, I actually left before the Super Bowl started and landed in Vegas.
Right.
To meet the rest of the Cookies Apparel team, Cookies SF team, in doing our trade show, one of our seasonal trade shows.
Is that
in
the
Vegas.
trade show project?
Yeah.
Right. How big is
Project
that?
show. It's big, bro. It's part of Magic, which is really big. But
Right.
Magic gets into like dresses and juniors and but the men's side of Project, it's a big show. The men's and women's side. Project is a big show.
Is it like one of those things where you got credentials and you got to wear them around your neck, then you go into the convention?
It is like that, but I think it's a lot more lenient and casual than all that stuff that you usually see with the credentials around the neck. It's not that
and there's
pocket protector shit, it ain't like that.
Right. And is there a lot of little fucking tchotchke shit or whatever? Like you could go around and grab little samples of this and that?
Not this type of show. This show in particular, Project, is there's not a lot of zooms and wham type shit. They give you a certain amount of space and you can only do so much fixture wise because they don't want other people outdoing, because they can get real elaborate.
Right.
They don't want that.
Okay.
It's really about your brand and how you're presenting it. And so, and there's buyers. I mean, the show is primarily filled up with people, independent stores and chain store buyers that are in there, want to preview the line, want to write their order, want to see the line, and we're booking out 6-8 months ahead of us.
Right.
So what they were looking at right now was, what we were showing at this last show was back to school, fall, and holiday. So end of year stuff for this year, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was booking it, and it looked fantastic. It did well. Met a lot of great brands, bro, that wanted to build with me, I can't give those up right now. If I were, people would be tripping out, but I'm talking about, we've got heritage brands, sport brands, street, we've got some of the best brands in the world that sat down and I took meetings with, that we're going to build really, really unique product, great content, exciting content with these brands and collaborate with them. And that stuff's going to be starting towards the end of this year and into next year. And a lot of good things came from this show, a lot of good things.
And what about, do you go out to big dinners or big fucking sushi things?
Big steaks and lobsters and
surf and turf and
surf and turf.
fucking.
Most of the people eating surf and turf everywhere I go.
Right.
This is their chance. Companies taking them out.
Yeah.
I'd fucking order the most expensive thing on the fucking menu.
Right.
Type shit.
Right. Got to unbutton your pants. You got
and then we're cookies, man. So,
Right.
Yeah,
everyone's read the Forbes magazine covers and
They're
shit.
keeping an eye on us. So we got to live up to the hype a little bit. We do it for the fans. We got to do it for the
Listen, you got to give them what they
lifestyle.
want. Right.
That's right. So if you fucking, anyways.
And then after the glamour of Las Vegas, you go to Utah.
Fucking shout out to Utah. Let me tell you guys something.
Yeah, please.
I get to Utah.
Okay.
First off, the people are, everywhere I go, the people are fabulous.
Right.
Fucking awesome, bro. And it's cold as a motherfucker. But we get there, and man, I get there downtown in the daytime around 11, and it's cold, but it's sunny. And the mountains, everywhere you look, you're surrounded by this great skyline of gorgeous mountains.
Right.
It's like it's like a postcard. It's like a city on mountains, against mountains. You know what I'm saying?
What city were you in?
I was in Salt Lake City.
They said that Salt Lake's disappearing. Did anybody talk about that?
Nope.
All right, go ahead.
So, it was so clean. people were nice. It was beautiful. It was cold, but there was something about downtown Utah. I was like, fuck, man, I really like this here. Like, I really liked it. Like,
you did.
Like, I was around. I was like, fuck, I wonder what that would look like. Let me come out here and fucking retire one day. It was fucking nice,
What
bro.
was it about it?
Just like, you didn't have to look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
It was clean. There were no homeless people anywhere. You didn't see it at all.
Right.
Nobody came up for money. There was no homeless. The streets were clean.
Yeah.
People were really pleasant. I guess it still had that like Midwest, not inundated yet with so much city shit.
Yeah.
It had a small town feel to it.
Sure.
So, but with a metropolitan-y look in this little area. Anyways, people were great.
Was it snowing?
There had been snow, but right when I was there, it wasn't snowing, but fucking cold as fuck.
Yeah,
Hey, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I like it. And I may be going back for an event that I got to take one of my marketing guys with me. And if I do, I'm looking forward to it. It was
Was that the first time you'd been to Utah?
Yeah. Well, I went to Utah one time for a family matter, but we landed in the airport and had to drive up into the boonies, so I didn't get to see any cities.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I mean, Utah is known. I mean, that's Canyonlands, baby.
Gorgeous over there.
It's known as having some of the best landscapes all around. Zion.
Yeah, there was a Zionist temple, Zion.
No. Zion National Park, which is these.
Yeah, there was that too.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Arches National Monument. And I've been and hiked and camped in there. Everything's fucking red. The rocks are red. The dirt's red. It's like
Sedona?
Exactly like Sedona. Except the only difference is that there's all these and I mean huge, as big as skyscraper rock formation arches that you can walk across. And it's like you're on a natural bridge. The whole middle part of this giant rock's falling away, and you're just on this, looks like Martian bridges all over the place.
It was gorgeous there.
Unbelievable.
Good food.
Yeah.
Nice people.
What'd you eat over there? What do they eat in Utah, man?
Utah's eating fucking burritos and Mexican food. And
they got that here.
Fried chicken sandwiches and fucking. All right. Yeah, that went well, and that was for All-Star Weekend, and a lot of basketball players. I actually went out there with Steve LaBelle.
Oh yeah,
Lemonade.
Yeah,
and Jeff Hamilton, the fashion leather designer, and that's where I talked to you guys from.
Right, I remember that.
So we were out there, man, and you know, Steve Bell and Jeff, and they're out there, and they're going to all the fucking. They're with Dwayne Wade and this guy and fucking
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
that's
they're
cool,
with
man.
Fucking who's Kevin Durant.
Right,
rolling with all these guys, bro.
Those
all
are serious dudes,
and they were with that dude, that funny guy, Fat Joe. They were with that guy, and
Fat Joe.
They weren't with him, but they ran into him because I saw a picture of him with them.
The guy with the moon boots?
Yeah, guy dressed like a 12-year-old sometimes.
12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so yeah, but hey, fabulous. All sorts of cats were out there at the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then and we popped that off, and it went really good, man. Great store, top shelf, you guys, in Utah. I mean, look up Top Shelf SLC. Fucking Nikes. I brought my daughter back some Nikes she wanted.
What did she say?
She's stoked, dude. You know, she wanted some Mocha ones. They were like $600. I wasn't gonna do all that. I told her, you better pick another pair. And she found a pair. Right. But still, we got some good shoes for her and made her happy. So yeah, it was a good trip. Got back, and you know, collecting all the content from all this stuff. And hey, watch your back over there. Oh,
turn the camera on that Big Pick Mike. What'd you do, dude? This is the second time you knocked that down. Mr. and Mrs. Earbuds, Big Pick Mike just knocked down the backdrop.
Sherm.
Just always walking around. Did you eat those CBD things?
Yeah.
No.
Are you on CBD?
Yeah, are you on CBD gummies?
Are you on ADD or CDD?
Are you on PCP?
Or you're gonna end up in the CDC. Oh yeah, I gotta straighten that out a little bit. Now it's all crooked.
Yeah.
Or lower that side a little something.
Jerk that wild.
So got back, bro, and was I used to do these trips, bro. I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Even my early 40s, like fucking on and off. Love it.
Right.
I still love it. But, I was tired when I got back. So it was
What's
a good
the most tiring part about traveling for you?
It's not, you know what? Because I book all my flights. Early, dude. So it seems like I'm always landing. I'm barely getting it together. And then I got to get up and leave next. And I'm always leaving the night after whatever we're doing. So,
right.
I'm traveling early. It seems like that's a big reason. But the other thing is, man, it's lugging fucking luggage through an airport and getting to going through fucking all that bullshit. It's tiring. I don't mind doing it one time to get there and one time to get back.
Right.
But when you've got to do it on and off throughout days, it kind of gets, and you've got to constantly be making sure all your shit's in order, So
yeah, I mean, in 10 days, if you traveled to 3 places, that would mean 6 times you had to do that in 10 days.
Yeah, and I was having boxes follow me and send ahead of me and schematics.
Schematics.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna,
What? Come on, man. Come on. That looked good.
I was gonna say that fucking. I fucking have a maxed out credit card and. So I'm using my fucking debit, but I'm waiting for my check to come in, and I'm fucking,
Juggling.
And we're not talking about juggling a couple $100. We're talking about it's like, it's $1,300. Now we're in the $1,800. It's like you're Ubering, you're this, that, business, and I'm like, fucking, but Cookies is good about that. They got me all taken care of, but it was a little bit more stressful in the beginning than I needed it to be.
Right. Nah, you know what, man? That's true. Especially now. It seems like the economy, the way it is now, it's a little bit tighter around the corners than it used to be.
It is, and let me say this though. I will say this, and that's that. I think it was two trips back, 2 business trips back. First time in my life I ever got the Lyft app. I've never used an app. I've always got a taxi. Just fuck it, right? So I was real late. So I get it, and I took my first trip and get off, and then I'm the type of guy that whenever I've traveled, I usually have to get the rental car too.
Right.
So it's like an extra step.
That's
in
a
getting
nightmare.
Back.
That's a nightmare.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'd done that 6 times and all over the place, and that shit is, and that shit's fucking tough. You gotta remember, man, I have one shoulder that's fucked up, so I'm trying to fucking get around the airport. It's a pain in the ass. But anyways, I used fucking Lyft, bro, everywhere I went. So
easy peasy.
Yeah, man. I make sure that wherever the airport is, wherever I'm going, is all within decent radius, and then I just fucking use that thing. So that helps out a lot, bro.
That's the kind of thing that gets you thinking crazy thoughts like, what the fuck do I need a car for? I might just get rid of a car. I could just fucking do Lyft everywhere. And you do need it. It's too much of a headache if you had to drive from here to Orange County. But
right.
But Lyft and all that shit. I mean, if you're within 5 miles or wherever, it's like, why the fuck? I don't even have to park. Fuck it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's good. So utilizing that, and just traveling.
But that rental car shit, bro.
Bullshit. I was doing a bunch of business traveling 8, 9 years ago. It was a little different still.
Dude, the fucking, even, I'll tell you something, because when you do a trip, it doesn't matter what time you come in on that trip. If after you land and get all your bullshit together, you got to now walk to a company called Hertz. That's over in some other part. You might even have to take a shuttle.
Oh, you always have to take a shuttle. What are you talking about?
Shuttles, dude.
Wait a minute. There ain't no airport where you walk to the car.
There is in smaller places, right?
Oh, okay.
I promise.
Yeah,
but dude, I'm telling you, but you're right. 90% of the time, you got to get on a fucking shuttle.
When you're traveling business, the metropolitan business, there ain't no. You got it.
That's the white man's way. That's why it's fucked up.
I remember fucking when I was fucking building brands and coming out of relapses, and my money, my cheddar wasn't right, dude. I'd be flying over here. I'd be landing there, but I'd be like, I fucking need a fucking credit card authorization. I can't get into the fucking hotel. They won't let me. No, the rental car. I have my license. Now they want insurance. They want that. Oh, bro, I'd be. Oh, it'd be a motherfucking nightmare sometimes, dude.
Bro. Listen, let me tell you something, man.
All this bullshit.
Dude.
It's a lot different though traveling now.
Listen, when I went to Louisiana with my wife and the kid,
Yeah.
right, fucking fly into fucking whatever they call that bullshit, Shreveport or some bullshit in Louisiana. Sweaty as
Sri Lanka.
yeah, sweaty as all get. Everything smelled like gumbo when I walked off the motherfucker. Eyes are burning. I fucking get there, right? And we get there at like 8 o'clock at night, but it's like midnight from where we're from. I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
My wife's thinking COVID's flying at us and the kid from every direction. I'm stressing out. I'm like, ugh. And then we got a rental car, right? Got to get on a fucking... I mean, it had to be like, it was like a fucking shuttle, but it's never clear when you land where the fuck the shuttle for the rental car is, right? You're walking around, it's a Greyhound over here, it's a fucking taxi. Yeah.
Ground transportation, taxis.
And there's all
Car
these
shuttle services, cars.
public exit. And then you see these motherfuckers and they're dressed like in some kind of like fake military garb with a hat. And you're like, hey, man, can you? So finally we get on this bus. And it's one of those buses with the accordion shit in the middle.
Yeah,
and I don't know
yeah.
why, but it already pisses me off. I look at that. I go, that's fucked up. I sit down. There's this big brother sitting next. Now, is all of us sitting on this fucking thing trying to find our fucking life? You know, in that fucking bullshit bi-level thing where you're supposed to put your luggage.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be a fucking gentleman. My wife's not lifting anything, and my back's all up. I got the baby's like, woo, she's crying. I'm sitting there, and we sit down on this thing, and the seats look like it's like oily. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so many asses have sat on that thing. It's shiny. Then the big brother next to me, and this dude looked like he probably played like as a center for like the fucking Louisiana. He's huge. I mean, big, and his hands are huge, and he's got this tiny little phone right next to me, and he's playing some kind of Pokemon game on his goddamn.
Yeah,
that's true stuff. Going through all that. Now, not only did I have to get the cart, right, or the car or whatever, walk through all this bullshit, but we ordered a baby seat because we had a baby.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the right baby seat, and they had to call over. And, dude, do you know what it's like to try to install a generic baby seat that's probably going to kill your kid instead of save your kid in the back of a car in Louisiana at midnight with your wife's dagger eyes staring in? Man, I got to tell you, bro. Rental cars is a pain in the motherfucking ass.
Fucking pain in the fucking ass. And the Uber shit is great, bro. The Lyft shit, Uber shit. So
Right.
very happy about that. Got back, and now I'm back, and yeah, man.
Are you really thinking like maybe you might retire out in Utah,
No,
man?
I liked it. I think I liked it. I got to check it out a few more times.
What do you think
I'd have to live to be old to retire in Utah, G.
Yeah, but I think it's got to be way cheaper than LA, bro.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily. I wasn't thinking of any of that. It was, I don't know, kind of a new popping little area that I was in. It just kind of seemed, I don't know.
Gentrification. That's white people gentrification, bro.
Yeah.
In Utah like that, Salt Lake City, that's Mormon gentrification. Probably poor Mormons living there were like, oh, it wasn't like this.
Oh, no. I was hearing from people that grew up there what it used to be like. There was a lot of people that are back and forth from Southern California to Utah. I met a couple guys that have businesses in both ends. And they're back and forth. And there's just a lot of opportunity out there, too. But anyway, so... Yeah. Anyways, it was cool. And
man. Get yourself a horse, man. Get yourself a horse and a ranch out in Utah. Some fucking cowboy boots.
Second home. Maybe take up fucking snowboarding.
Hey, would you ever wear cowboy boots?
Hell yeah. Go down to San Antonio. If I go down to San Antonio, I will.
Yeah, well, shit went sideways when you weren't here, bro.
Oh, I saw that.
Shit went sideways, man.
I appreciate everybody's effort, showing up, doing all that while I was gone. But, yeah, shit did go sideways. I'm sorry to report to you. I watched it. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The whole shit goes south.
Yeah, bro.
But, you know, the effort, everybody showed up.
Hey,
to
bro.
fuck it up, and I'm glad.
My fucking brain, I mean, my brain felt like a couple of flapjacks on the griddle, bro.
I wouldn't even blame it all on you. I mean, you had a crazy ass guest on here that lost their mind. Made it weird enough. I couldn't even imagine being in person and tripping.
Dude.
Not done drugs in 24 years, and then you got that person in front of you,
And it
you're
was
high.
edibles. And I was like the highest I've ever been. King Salmon used to be a real serious pothead. The guy he used to smoke weed with got a throat tumor from smoking weed. It exploded in his throat and died before he got so. That's a true story. Yep, serious, real smoke.
I've been around 55 years. How come I never heard nobody have a fucking tumor from smoking weed in their neck?
And maybe it was also
exploded and they died.
Cigarette-
That's crazy. Like guys probably talking and they're like scanners. Just, all of a sudden, look like there's a mouse under his neck.
No, listen.
Shaking his head around. Bah! Just exploded. He bled to death.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. The guy's name was Late 80s because he had a late 80s haircut for his entire life. And he was a weed dealer.
Was like one of those level cuts?
Yeah,
All
with
right,
a
go on.
slight mullish, like a mullet, the kind of thing. And in any event, right? And he was like,
Flock of seagulling out.
totally,
Okay.
right? With a fucking RX-7 or something.
Oh,
You know,
what
one
was
of
his
those
name?
guys. Late 80s.
Do you remember his real name though?
Sean Baker.
God damn.
Yeah.
I knew a couple guys like that. Okay.
Right. One of those.
Where is this thing filming my crotch or me?
It's filming what King Salmon wants to see.
Is it fucking filming me?
Hey,
because it looks like
hey,
it's filming
Salmon,
my fucking hand.
If you squeeze that, you can see your head, your face in
All
it.
right.
Yeah, shimmering. Shimmering.
Yeah, he's going to see a reflection. Can you see your reflection?
In the hell. But so yeah, anyway. He was a chain smoker tobacco and chain smoker weed. I don't know if the weed actually caused it. All I know is he's the only guy I ever heard got a tumor in his throat and it exploded and he died by himself and there was a hole in his neck and people found him and he was dead.
Well,
right?
that sounds
King
crazy.
Salmon, is that right?
I'm good, thank you. CBD massage oil.
What are you doing, Mike? Wait,
It's fucking
He's over there.
Finger Joe.
He's cutting the
Sticky
holes,
Fingers McGee
cutting the
over here,
holes out of his
wandering
pockets.
around in the offices going. I bet his car's got
Fine
fucking like
shit.
6 cases of fucking
Pockets
He's got
are
about
bulging.
fucking $1,800 worth of inventory in his car.
He's walking
Gonna
around
open up a
bulging
Open up
pockets.
a CBD
On
fucking
Etsy.
stand on fucking Los Angeles
He's selling-
Street
he's selling
fucking on
shit
Monday.
on Etsy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all these tags are going to lead back. They're going to be like, hey, dude, our product's all over the place.
He's just walking around like
Big Mike's Body Shop.
Big Mike's Emporium,
Big Shop. Yeah, it's called Big Mike's Emporium. That kind of looks like Big Mike.
right?
He wouldn't by any chance be like, selling our shit, would he?
Yeah, Dixon comes in. It's like, hey guys, we're missing a lot of shampoo with
And we
H.
want you to take a look at this security cam footage you got.
Does that guy look familiar? Yeah, but bro, it was hard because the highest I'd ever been was with King Salmon and that guy that died, and this was 10 times higher than that.
Let me tell you something, man. I've been fucked up on fucking edibles, bro, and it was not. I've never been so high on weed that it was uncomfortable. Like smoking, I'm saying.
Yeah,
I've never, and I've done all, okay, but eating, I've definitely overdone it, and it was fucked. It was not cool, dude. I did not want to be high, and whatever I was feeling had to have been whatever I was feeling when I fucking ate like fucking 400 milligrams or something. When I had that experience and I was not into it, that had to have been somewhat proportionate to you being so clean and eating what you ate, the effect on you, which is fuck that, bro.
well, dude, there was at least twice during those 3 shows that I almost thought, I should just have a fucking seizure right now and call it quits.
How do you have a seizure?
I don't know. I just thought like I'm losing my mind. Like while Ruby Woo Tang or whatever her name is,
I
right?
could have a seizure.
No, he's like, it's like, she was like, I died 6 times and maybe that. And I'm like, did she just say, like, I'm trying to have a normal conversation, but inside I'm like, did she just say? And then I would get this level of just highness. I can't even explain it. And then I'm like, I can't medically go on. I should just fall apart right here. Like, that's the kind of thinking I was having. I was like, and then I was like,
were you thinking at all ever of like them calling an ambulance or you going to the hospital?
almost. I almost thought. I almost. The only reason why I didn't, because I didn't want to get clowned. I'd rather die than get clowned on the show, right? In front of Big Pig Mike after all this shit I've talked, and then I called an ambulance.
Fucking straight panic button.
Oh, right. Take
You
me.
would have never lived that down.
No, are you kidding me? I would have got 5150 with Schmitty off of them strawberry meth that he was doing.
You know if they come down here because you call them on some shit like that, you know you're going, right? There is no like, oh, I'm sorry, don't take my like. That's the rule. When you go on some shit like that,
right?
As soon as the first cop shows up, they ain't leaving the premises unless somebody's going into custody.
Right. So I was like, I gotta hold it together. And then also during that moment, there was like 2 panic moments that I kept to myself, quiet panic moments where I was like, fuck it, dude. If I give up right now, if I lose control right now, I'm serious. Like,
These are crazy ass conversations.
That's how high I was.
Wow.
That's how high I was. I've been in a lot of situations.
Fucking PCP over here. Do you guys put PCP in that? Go ahead.
I'm just saying. And I was like, and then I was thinking like, well, I could just call it. I could just say, guys, I'm so fucking obliterated right now. I got scrambled egg brains. We're just gonna have to run a rerun. Fuck it. It's not the end of the world. We got good shows.
You didn't seem that out of it to me. This show, and I watched the show today.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you seem more fucking out of it in the first one with the guy.
Well, that was when it was first coming on, but maybe I'd finally agreed to the highness, right? I just said,
stop fighting.
Exactly. No brain bubbles, bro. So I know this sounds crazy. This is real true. So I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, all right, bro. If you're going to go fucking nuts, do it on the show. Let's go. What's the worst that could happen? You're not going to die. I had that conversation that you're not going to die with myself in that dark hallway that's scary over there, away from everyone else. I walked down there and I just said, dude, you're not going to die. You're just freaking yourself out. So fucking man up, go down there and do the next show. And I did. But then shit started getting really funny. Everything was funny to me. Everything that this crazy lady was saying was funny as fuck to me. Soon as she told me that her Down syndrome uncle was spinning her in a chair really fast, that she died.
Yeah.
And I'm high as fuck when she's telling me that.
Yeah. This guy brought her in?
Yeah, big.
Where'd you meet that bitch? Oh, excuse me, where'd you meet that lady? Yeah, was she? She is cool. She's just a little crazy. She wasn't like a bad person.
She's a little offbeat.
Right.
Right?
I didn't mean to say that.
He met her at the offbeat. She's in
Mike.
She wants to do it again.
Hey, Mike, Big Mike, seriously, now that it's just us guys, are you trying to hit that?
No.
Don't lie.
No. The question isn't are you trying to hit that. The question is how many times did you hit that?
Yeah, come on. No,
Mike be finding his way and Mike accidentally falling into some pussy, dog. That's how Mike is. Yeah.
He almost didn't get out. He almost didn't get out, dude.
How long is he still hitting it is what you should be asking him.
Well, seriously,
still smashing that?
Because listen, he said yes. He did just say yes, right?
You only smash then? You're not smashing anymore?
Now, but someone else.
Oh, sorry, player.
I did. You were smashing her.
Super
now he's
fly.
smashing. So, just for the record, he was smashing her.
Now he's
smashing
on.
somebody else. Okay,
hey, he's a player, bitch. I thought you knew.
I'm not a player. I just smash a lot.
So yeah, dude. So yeah, he can't. But because Big Mike rescued her from dance hall thugs. She was getting pestered because she was dancing freely as a free spirit. Cleared out the dance hall.
No.
Jeez. So then they first told me the story. It was like Big Mike's like, yeah, some guys were hassling her, man. I had to step to him and tell him, punk him out. Check him. He doesn't like that stuff. I used to work the front of the door, man, a lot of different places, man. I don't go for that shit. When the fucking being rude to chicks and stuff, that ain't right. Right? Big Pig Mike? Am I wrong?
Oh,
See? But then it's like, God, who would be hassling this lady? But then it turned out that because of her style of dance, she had cleared out the dance floor because she dances from wall to wall.
Let me ask you this, on to another subject there, since we're done talking about dancing wall to wall with this crazy lady. How about the fucking hail that was fucking coming down? Did you get hail down here?
No, I didn't.
Fucking hailing like a motherfucker yesterday.
Yeah.
All over the place. What's up with this cold weather?
Global warming.
44 degrees last night.
Global warming. They have in San Bernardino the first ever blizzard warning in the history
Ever.
of San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
So however long that's been around, a couple hundred years. I don't know, bro, but obviously the climate's all fucked up.
Yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff going on these days in the climate. But I got back and I thought it was cold out there on the road, and it just was cold over here. And let's see, what else we got? How long we got there? So I'm fucking, I've been, I started fucking around with iron weights, shit, early in my 20s.
Yeah.
Started getting into it and got serious. I didn't, through institutions, through cell living, like we'd find all these different crazy ways to lift even after they took the weights away. Water bags, doing crazy acrobatics and burpees and incline, but like all this crazy shit. I have a history of some stuff like that. I also had a history of abusing some, a little bit of anabolic, performance enhancing,
PED.
Yeah. I did, in my early 40s, into my mid 40s, right? Maybe a little. And so there was some abuse there, and, I've had some injuries. So about 2 years ago, my right shoulder really starts hurting me. Now, I had issues with my left shoulder, torn pec, all that shit. 15, 18 years ago, my right shoulder started giving me problems about a year and a half ago. I brushed it off. I knew something was wrong. And the longer I went, the less and less I was able to do certain exercises in the gym. Push-ups became hard. And it just got to the point where I just could not use the shoulder. Go in finally for an MRI. And this is after doctors were telling me, it sounds like you have a torn labrum. You probably got a torn rotator. Yeah, they're going to go in, they clean up the rotator. I've had this. So I'm all down this path, finally going to get the MRI and then go see the doctor. And this is now almost 2 years later. That doctor comes in and he's like one of the top surgeons, sports cedars, and he's in Santa Monica. And we sit down and he pulls out everything. Real nice doctor. Guy fucking shows me, goes, there's nothing left inside. There is no rotator cuff. There is no labrum. There's no cartilage at all. And he shows me on there, it's bone to bone. He goes, this is permanent arthritis. I didn't know what arthritis really was. You hear about arthritis, but I didn't know what it was. Bone to bone. He goes, that's why you're having so much pain. I go, so what's the deal? And I'm thinking there's some kind of surgery to repair cadaver or what the fuck?
Yeah, just
nothing.
Cadaver.
He's like, no, there's nothing to repair anywhere. We're gonna cut that shoulder out of there and we're gonna put a titanium one in there.
Oh, dude, bionic, man.
So bionic, man. So here we go. So he tells me all this. So this was like a couple months back. Got a couple different opinions.
Same thing.
When I got an opinion about going down to Brazil and having stem cell. And one of the doctors that does PRP and that type of work is like, dude, to have stem cell work, you need to have something in the joints for them to be injecting the stem cells in there to regenerate or grow. He goes, there's nothing there.
Bone dry.
There's nothing there to do. Okay. All right. So going in on Tuesday for full shoulder replacement surgery. And I'm, listen, there's a lot of me that's frustrated, dude. Like, There's guys my age, older, working out, throwing up iron, getting all fucking, and right now I can't do any of that shit. It's fucking frustrating as fuck, dude. I worked hard for a long time to have strength and size, and I've lost a ton of it over 2 months, and I just, this is going to be a long recovery. There's no way around it. Everybody I've talked to, every doctor, everybody said that, fucking, I'm out for 6 months, before I really start getting back in there. So, kind of just had to accept that. The hardware's not set up to go heavy. The hardware, if you want it to last, you got to do very moderate weight. Some exercises I won't be doing anymore. It's going to be me focusing on building other parts of my body, leaning out, lighter weights, more reps, more cardio, and just kind of start changing, my body, to work for me into my 50s and 60s, hopefully my 70s. But the being, big, dude, like I like to be and lifting heavy, that shit's probably not going to be what it looks like in the future. It's going to look different. So
how does that make you feel in terms of the change in mindset and the change in identity you're going to go through? I
like, I guess my name, they call him Big Lux for a reason, but I like feeling big. I like being strong at the drop of a dime for anything. I like being able, strong. And I've kind of been feeling like I'm handicapped anyways, but yeah, like the whole thing of like becoming more cut up and lean and more like it's cool. And I know that's what I need to be, but I like fucking, I like having size on me, man. I just like being, big and fit, I'm used to that. I'm not used to being super lean guy, and focusing on core strength and probably the stuff that I need, like it all makes sense on paper, but I just wish I didn't have this type of an injury so that I could still lift heavy and go heavy. Cause I like what that does to my body. I like the results I get from lifting heavy shit, but we're gonna figure it out a different way now. So I think I think that time was coming, and what it takes to maintain being really big as I get older seems to be more and more unrealistic, health wise, for a number of reasons. So, yeah.
I mean, I can kind of understand because what's weird is I like to be big too, but I'm already a small dude. And so I want to be big because I'm small. You're like tall and you're already big. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, like the thickness and all that kind of stuff, right? And having that grappler body kind of where it's like heavy up top and the chest and all that, right? But also I'm kind of like, well, you're still big. I mean, I know it doesn't feel that way for you. Everybody views themselves differently than how everyone else sees them from the outside. Mm. But like, I guess part of me is kind of like, even if you were somewhat lean, let's say, and it's not what you're used to, you're still the height that you are, and you still have the dimensions that you have.
Yeah, just not the girth.
I mean, I can see that. I'm not saying that there isn't something lost or sacrificed in that. I'm just saying, like, from my perspective, I'm like,
dude, you just can't be that. But the reality is as good as like you see some of these guys, and like, I mean, let's keep it real. Some of that shit's full on fake, but even some of these guys you see in their late 50s, even in early 60s, that are fucking
yeah.
Like, that's not realistic, bro. Like, at some point in time, that you got to change it, or you're gonna go down like that.
I think a lot of bodybuilders do go
down like that. No, a lot of, and even we don't even talk about bodybuilders. We talk about regular motherfuckers that just get on that program and don't want to give it up.
Man, it's something I've been thinking a lot about too, and that is image versus reality. Like, that's what you're talking about. Like you said, you look at some of these people right from the pictures and the photos, and to a certain extent, they really have that or whatever. But there's a lot that goes into putting that all together for that moment. But is it sustainable? Like, is that how they are on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Right.
And it's not. It's not, bro. And so I think also about like, so what's the difference between image strong, image big versus reality strong? I think about performance enhancing drugs a lot, actually, right? Because I'm like, I don't even eat meat. And I'm like, okay, well, every once in a while I'm like, dude, I wonder if I ate like a steak, like would somehow I get even bigger? And I'm like, I don't know. And then other times I think like maybe well, what if I got on steroids or whatever? But I'm already the size that I am. Like, just being the type of body type that I'm in, like the steroids might give me more girth or whatever. I ain't gonna get any taller. What's the point? I think about that myself. I'm like, what's the point of getting even crazier, bigger, other than just doing it naturally?
You're just gonna look like a little Sammy the Bull.
Right. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna fucking do that. I'm not gonna try to do that.
You're not gonna look like that rat. Huh?
No. So, I'm not even gonna be a rat. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I get it. And I got everything I'm going to get from it. Who knows what? You know, there's other things come along with it. But also, I mean, like, I've had talks with a lot of guys that are on that program, and they're like, listen, man, yeah, I might have carved 10 years off my life by the choices that I've made. Right? This is like what the other conversation goes. But I'll take the 10-year loss if I can live the whatever 65 or whatever, it's 70 and opposed to 80. They're cool with that, living the way they wanted to, which is, you know, active a lot longer than the people around them and doing other shit. You know. So there's people that know the risks of this thing, dude.
I don't know that that's true, man. I mean, I know people say that, and maybe there are some people that quote unquote know the risk. First of all, I don't think anybody doesn't know the risks, right? I mean, as soon as you're injecting shit into your
ass, that's like
you already know there's
a price somewhere,
right? I think it's kind of naive for people to think, well, the price I'm going to pay is in that last 10 years. Right. Right? The price I'm going to pay is in the last 10 years when I would have been 82 anyway. I don't know that I don't know. I think about that a lot. And I think about that a lot because, you know, when my dad died, my dad was one of these guys that was like, I'm going to eat and drink and do whatever. And if it gets too bad, I'll just crawl up into the woods and blow my brains out. Tough guy. But when he was actually in the hospital,
did he say that? I'll
Yeah.
crawl up into the woods and blow my brains
he's
out?
told me that many times growing up.
Really?
He was serious. I mean, I don't know. The guy was a fucking... To me now, at the time, I was like, man, this is a real cold motherfucker, right? But now I realize he was just a kid. Big, fat fucking kid. Good guy. Smart. A lot of potential. But just because somebody can kick your ass doesn't mean they ain't a kid. Right? Big Lepke probably pound me right into the fucking ground. Guy's still kind of a kid in certain ways. Not always. By the way, big shout out to Big Lep. We love you. Come in, check in, do whatever. But when my dad said all that shit, when he was in the hospital, he died in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 60 days. When they cut his stomach open, and I was there, and it was like whatever. He looked at me and he goes, I know I'm not the healthiest, but isn't there just some kind of way? And I was like, man, that's real. That's real. That's real to me. That was a real. It's easy to talk big shit when you're outside and you're walking around. That's easy. Anybody could talk big shit then. But when you're on your deathbed and you're actually facing mortality and it's real, you really going to be so cavalier about how much time you got left? Are you really? Maybe some people, but I don't think the vast majority. Because it's the same thing like in a fight or war and gun battles, right? In a gun, you could say whatever you want about what you're going to do when someone shoots a gun at you, when no one's shooting a gun at you. And maybe the guy that seems the weakest to you might, in the actual heat of the moment, be the most fearless. Or, right, maybe the toughest guy might turn out to do all the wrong shit.
True.
So when a guy's telling me or a gal's telling me like, I'm going to trade my 10 years of the only life I know for what I think is going to happen, I'm always a little bit like, that's not a real evaluative situation. I don't think they really, because no one can predict the future. So how do you know?
No, nobody can predict the future. I've certainly seen people on the other end of it having to fucking have a fucking heart replacement and dialysis and go on kidney and that type of shit. And motherfuckers were almost dying. I've seen guys been like, fucking paying the price for not fucking, so don't do this. I fucking couldn't get off.
Lyle Alzado.
I mean, so I don't know that sometimes either it's also cavalier. I think sometimes there's a medium where motherfuckers are just, they know what time it is. I think it's to say it's going to be the last portion of my life. I don't know if that makes any sense because anything could happen anytime. But yeah, man, I mean,
it's hard for people to change their minds, man. It's hard. Like, us in this room know better than anybody else that you probably won't change your mind unless your shit's against the wall for real. But if you still think you got a little route, you probably won't. I've had tons of friends that I've known that's like, writing was on the wall like 30 years ago.
Right.
It's like,
I know motherfuckers laugh. They're like, I made the deal with the devil. I'm getting mine. A friend of motherfucker's 60, banging out fucking Playboy centerfolds and shit.
Yeah.
On a good one.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm doing it. You
Right.
don't see no dudes like me.
Right.
They're all mad at me because they're stuck with their wives. And,
Right.
oh, wow, he's
Right.
driving a fuck. And I'm like, I can't argue with that motherfucker. Like, hey. Back to each his own. Like, that's
right.
how,
Everyone has their right. Absolutely agree with that.
I don't know how that turns out in the end.
Exactly.
Hopefully it is just I went to tie my shoe and fucking fell out and it's a wrap.
Right. Had a tumor in my throat and it exploded and just.
Right. You're hoping your kids ain't fucking having to fucking babysit your ass for the next fucking 10 years to change your diapers and shit.
That shit happens, dude.
It does.
That shit happens.
It does. It fucking, they never, I know something, man. So I saw somebody do a thing with his buddy, and his buddy's paraplegic, right?
Yeah.
And his friend's like shaving him or something. And then he looks at the camera. He's like, you know what, man? They're always talking about the homies blasted or got blasted. Well, what happens if you don't die? And then he points to his friend. See, so now I got to be a homeboy to my homeboy.
Well, that's when you find out who your homeboys are.
And it was like, they don't ever talk about that. They want to either show you, getting locked up or dying, right?
Yeah.
The lot. But how about everything in the middle?
There's a lot in the middle.
A lot in the middle, bro. We've had people on the show. I have friends.
Right.
That were left in the middle.
Right.
Hard to Kill is in the middle.
Right. Dude, there's people, in the middle where they might have wished they were on one of the ends.
Exactly. So.
But that ain't in the brochure.
No, we don't talking about that, man. And it's, don't you find that weird? That's not being talked about. It's one or the other. There's more in the middle.
Yeah.
Than in these two. But why is it that nobody does that?
Because, bro, I'm going to tell you, man.
That takes the fucking glory out of it?
Yeah. It's the same thing as the military. They don't tell you about all the middle shit in the military.
Bro, no, they don't.
Right?
They don't.
Camp Lejeune. Your whole family's there. They train you up as a Marine. Government doesn't tell you that the groundwater's full of fucking poison. Your kid's got cancer.
Yeah, everybody's dying.
Everybody's
got a third leg fucking growing out of their forehead.
Your son didn't sign up for the military and he's injured.
Right. So, I mean, there's just a lot of fucking middle stuff.
Because if you don't have the glory, how do you get people to commit their time and energy to bullshit?
Right.
And then it's almost to the point where you're like, dude, the higher the level you get, there's no loyalty a lot of times of the people up at the top.
You don't see, you know what? I see more TV shows on these guys that were Green Berets that went to go kill fucking Bin Laden.
Yeah.
Than I do on on these veterans that have all their arms and legs missing.
Right.
You know, they got all these prosthetics and they've got to they're running marathons, right?
Yeah.
You see those guys very little. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, it's all like that.
they're
Those
all over
fucking lame ass twins that are flipping houses that everybody watches on this TMZ or AMC, right?
Right.
You see that, right? And everybody thinks they're going to do that. Meanwhile, it's all backed by the mortgage industry that forecloses on all these houses that regular mumbo jumbos, they're never flipping shit and they ain't making shit.
And they want to make it like they're real brave fucking people that I've had to go, like, all right, come on, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. But anyways.
No. It's important.
No.
The reason why I say it's important, dude, is because that middle that you were talking about exists for all
things. All things.
Come on, man.
All things.
Listen, you touched on something that's real serious, actually.
All things.
Everything.
All life.
Life,
all business.
That's what people don't want to face. The development of
don't get in the tissue box. Don't start crying now, partner.
I'm not gonna cry. What I'm gonna tell you is that you don't even get to the art that we have. Fucking, there's so much middle that's missed.
I'll get to the middle.
All these people that live these important, particularized lives that are ignored by everyone because it doesn't fit the legends that everyone wants to believe that was built by marketers.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Bro.
That's it, man.
That's
Fuck
it, bro. Fuck it.
I quit. I'm out of here. Listen, I'm selling everything and I'm fucking moving to the other side of the
moving to Utah.
Yeah, dude. Arches.
Look at like we do about this time.
He doesn't have the outro. I'll get the outro music.
Hey, listen.
Listen.
I want to give a shout out.
Please.
Go ahead. You guys go first.
Go ahead, Skinny. Get your shit going, boy. Jerk that wire loose.
Hey, Matty King over here for Dragon Bags. Get your Dragon Bags at dragonbags.com. And check out my Instagram at Beyond Dragon. And check out my Instagram at mypoppinpatches.poppinpatches. Instagram.
And then what else? Big Mike?
Just Mike Angelo Photography. Shout out to my family. Supermax. Hard Look Show, Mr. and Mrs. Earbuds.
Yeah, and Avando Bowen LLP. We wear braids to court, let the tomahawks fly. The best legal representation that money can buy. And also, let me tell you, there's a new branch of my firm starting up that's called Warrior Law. Especially, we got a Mayan temple with a buffalo in front of it as the icon, and it specializes in personal injury. Coming soon. The meanest, toughest, brainiest lawyers to represent anybody who's been in an accident. And Skinny, I'm playing my fucking outro music and I'm not hearing anything over there.
And I want to give it up for, can we get the camera on me?
Yeah, can you do something?
Yeah,
can you
partner.
do something?
What's up? Okay. Bolt CBD. Yeah. It's one of our big sponsors right here. Bolt CBD. Get yourself some Bolt CBD. Great stuff. Alien CBD as well. Shout out to Alien. Shout out to Vibes Rolling Papers. Vibes, you guys. Part of the Cookies family. Shout out, you guys. And big shout out to Esteban Oreo, Soul Assassins, and Enzo's Pizzeria. Okay, so I'll give a big shout out to Bolt CBD. These are a big sponsor of ours. Check out some Bolt stuff. Go into your fucking CBD stores and get some. Also, number one sponsor, Vibes Rolling Papers. All right. Sell some vibes. Shout out to the Cookies Burner team, Soul Assassins, Esteban Oreo, and www.supermaxharbor.com. Back this up. We're out of here.
Yeah.